Coming up next on BG24 News.
Spring enrollment for freshmen and sophomores is right around the corner. Find out when you can sign up.
Student political leaders held their debate last week. Find out where each side stands on key issues that affect the Bowling Green community.
And Halloween is tomorrow, and you may not have to go too far to visit one last haunted house before the holiday is over.
All that plus a look at your Black Swamp weather forecast and BG24 sports.
Wood County's live local news starts right now. This is BG24 News, live at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Luke Stahl.
And I'm Madeline Fenning. Our top story tonight. Halloween is tomorrow, and you don't have to go too far to get spooked. Wood County has been a large platform to many haunted buildings and ghosts. Reporter Parminder Bunga explored a few of these places.
If there's somebody hanging out, they haven't really made themselves evident to me, but there are so many other people that feel like they've encountered these spirits that I believe that what they encounter is real.
No one driving by Sam B's restaurant on Main Street would think the building is haunted. Specifically, the third floor is now closed to the public and was once a theater and the site of a murder years ago. Thor, or Toledo Haunted Occurrences, investigated the area.
Their role is to debunk theories that there are spirits here.
They brought in cameras to capture paranormal activity.
They weren't able to do that. And there are 4 of them here, and 3 of them you can see on stage from that video. You can see them on stage, and they're setting up their sound, and you can hear them talking about it. And then right behind where that camera is set up, and you see the camera facing the stage, but you can hear right behind that someone dragging a table or a chair or something. You can clearly hear that. 3 guys, they look up and they look out and they say, they're calling out for their friend who was supposed to be helping them there, and I don't remember his name. I'm going to use the name Bill. Said, "Yo, Bill, what are you doing back there?" Bill's head pops up right behind them. All 4 of them turn their faces, all go like that, and their mouths drop.
The Wood County Historical Museum, located a few blocks from Sam B's, also is haunted.
People get maybe a weird sensation if they're walking through the building. They may feel a pinch when there's no one else in the room, or they may feel a cold spot in a certain part of the building that they don't feel in other places.
The museum opened in 1869 to house the county's poor, mentally ill, and physically disabled. An old lady in pajamas named Agnes is said to haunt the building. According to the story, Agnes is walking the hallways. A pharmacist tells a nurse that Agnes has left her room.
She said, "Well, that's impossible because they have to walk past here to exit to the rest of the building, and no one has walked past here." So they quickly turned around and went and checked, and there was no one in that kitchen area.
Holcomb Road and the woods beside it have been the location of ghost sightings. Years ago, a bus full of students crashed on Holcomb Road near Route 199. Legend says if you come here at night and turn off your headlights and park your car towards 199, you'll see headlights coming towards you and disappear when they hit the tree. During the day, the face of the driver can be seen in one of the trees. These stories have circulated the community for years and feel more believable during this time of year. For BG24 News, I'm Parminder Bunga.
A Bowling Green State University faculty member is facing serious charges. Police indicated Professor Stanley Goydera on charges of assault causing a serious injury, aggravated vehicular assault, and driving under the influence. The charges stem from an incident on September 21st. Goydera attempted to flee the scene of an accident and struck Officer David Vunk with his vehicle. Goydera is the chair of the Architecture and Environmental Design Department at BGSU. He is on administrative leave.
Election day is 1 week away. Let's get an update on the presidential polls. Real Clear Politics reports that the majority of the polls have Governor Romney ahead. PEW Research and the ABC News/Washington Post polls show that President Obama and Governor Romney are tied. The Real Clear Politics poll average has Governor Romney with a 0.9 lead on President Obama.
By now, you've seen the political posters, you've heard the ads, and you've seen the golf carts. But on Thursday, the people involved in both sides of the issues went head-to-head. Take a look.
Students gathered at the Business Administration Building on Thursday to attend a debate held between the Republican and Democratic Party members on campus.
We need to improve not only the access to education, but the affordability.
4 years ago, just before the election, our economy took a turn for worse. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month.
Among the campus community, there were also some high school students hoping to get extra credit in their coursework.
I think it's important to come so you can know about the issues on both sides for the candidates to help educate yourself before you vote.
Overall, the debate was a success and raised student awareness of current issues.
We as NAACP felt that it was important for students to get involved in politics because our future kind of depends on it. A lot of things, times what they do now is what we're going to have to live with in the future. So the point of this was to have students tell other students what we've learned and what we feel that is more connected towards us, and to talk about things that we can relate to. That way we can vote towards things that make sense for us.
For BG24 News, I'm Tyler Savino.
Election only a week away, the students on campus are encouraging the community to be active at the polls.
President Obama and Governor Romney have all been in Northwest Ohio. On November 2nd, Libertarian presidential candidate Gary Johnson will make his way to Bowling Green. Johnson will hold his visit at Clazell Entertainment on Main Street. The event starts at noon, and tickets to the event are free. For more information on the event, contact Nathan Eberly at eberly@lpwoodcounty.org.
Spring enrollment for sophomores and freshmen begins next week. BGSU sophomores and juniors can begin registering for spring semester classes starting Monday. Sophomores can register November 5th and freshmen can register on November 7th. Students are encouraged to meet with their advisors before registering. Students should also check their My BGSU to make sure there aren't any holds on their account.
And now weathercaster Aisha Mitchell is here to give us a preview of Black Swamp weather. Aisha?
Thanks, Madeline. Last week, temperatures were in the low 80s, but this week we are experiencing rain and snowfall. Is Old Man Winter making an early arrival? I've got details and more coming up on your Black Swamp weather forecast.
Thanks, Aisha. Coming up next on BG24 News.
Hurricane Sandy has found her way to the East Coast. Find out how we're being affected here in the Northwest Ohio.
Does Bowling Green have a bad reputation? Find out what names some students call the university.
Plus, a look at your Black Swamp weather forecast and BG24 sports. We'll be right back. Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney has canceled his event today in Elida. Governor Romney was scheduled to speak in Elida earlier this afternoon, but canceled his speech because of the weather. The rally in Dayton was still on, but the focus of the rally was not on campaigning. Romney asked supporters to help the relief efforts for the East Coast.
President Obama left the campaign trail to monitor the storm from Washington last night. The White House press office released a statement today saying that President Obama will not make an appearance in Ohio tomorrow. The release says that President Obama will remain in Washington to monitor Hurricane Sandy. President Obama wants to make sure that all available resources are being used to help the victims of Hurricane Sandy.
It has been said that Bowling Green State University has a high rate of STDs among students. Is that true or just a myth? Reporter Christina Hepner has the details.
Many have heard the saying, Bowling Green, STD University. But how did this come to be? And is it true or just a myth?
Well, the myth of BGSTD has been around for a little over 20 years. Really, it stems back from data that was released from the Student Health Service. So, of students who had been tested, there were certainly students who did have sexually transmitted infections. But what had happened was that data was extrapolated to say that more students had those infections than what had actually occurred.
BGSTDU is indeed a myth, but let's see what the students have to say about it.
As a senior in high school, I told my siblings that are older than me that I was going to attend BG, and all they kept saying is, our motto, BGSTD. So I didn't really affect my decision to come here, though, because I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
I've been hearing it's going around, man. I hear it's really bad out here. But I don't think it's true, though.
This myth has not stopped too many students from coming to BG. If you are afraid you may have an STD, there is free HIV testing on Fridays between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Reporting for BG24 News, I'm Christina Hepner.
The East Coast is in serious trouble. Over the weekend, Hurricane Sandy has made her way up the East Coast from the Caribbean islands. The eastern seaboard, along with New York City, have been greatly affected by what some meteorologists call a perfect storm. Sandy made landfall yesterday around 6 p.m. in New Jersey. Sandy is a Category 1 hurricane, bringing over 90-mile-an-hour winds and waves over 10 feet.
Hurricane Sandy has killed at least 89 people as of today. The superstorm has left over 7 million people in 10 states without electricity. Travelers have also been affected by the storm. Over 3,000 flights have been canceled. Even Wall Street has been affected by the storm. Trading in the NYSE and Dow Jones was shut down today and closed early on Monday. The New York Stock Exchange aims to begin trading again at opening bell on Wednesday morning.
So how has the hurricane affected us here in Wood County? Bowling Green is less than 600 miles from New York City. Hurricane Sandy is bringing colder than usual temperatures to the area. Bowling Green has been under a wind advisory since Sunday night, since seeing gusts of wind reaching up to 70 miles an hour. Weathercaster Aisha Mitchell is joining us with more information on this devastating storm. Aisha?
Thanks, Madeline. The presence of Hurricane Sandy was definitely felt along the East Coast. Sandy was a very powerful storm that took a while to die down, but will weaken later on tonight. Currently, Sandy is over Pennsylvania, but extends throughout the Midwest, Northeast, Southeast, and even southern Canada. This may be one of the most terrible storms that many areas have ever seen. The East Coast has not seen a storm of this magnitude since 1985. Sandy brought mixed precipitation to areas such as Pennsylvania, Maryland, Ohio, and Georgia. Some areas in West Virginia are even experiencing snowfall. Officials say those affected by the storm should stay clear of downed electricity, keep pets inside, avoid food poisoning from any spoiled foods, and try your best to stay warm.
Students had the opportunity to get creative last week with the University Activities Organization event, Craft Wars. I spoke with some of the students about their crafts and UAO's events on campus. Have you ever seen the television show Craft Wars? Well, instead of being broadcasted on TLC, it looks like a show spinoff has made a stop right here in BG Student Union.
I'm here because I actually saw it on the campus updates, and so I love crafts, doing that kind of stuff, so I figured I'd come here, see what it was like. Right now I am making a vase, not really sure where I'm going with it, but I'm just trying to be creative with it.
We put this on to bring all students outside of class, just to give them an alternative of something to do outside of class and a fun crafting alternative. And UAO's purpose is to provide fun, interactive activities, and this gives everyone a chance just to get to know other people, and crafting is a really common activity a lot of people enjoy.
I'm making a birdhouse for my sister because she's afraid of birds, and I want to scare her for Christmas.
UAO hosts events like this all year round. Make sure to check your campus updates so next time you won't miss out. BG24 News, I'm Lucas Stahl. SpaceX returned to Earth. Find out what the spacecraft brought back from the International Space Station.
Plus, a look at Black Swamp weather forecast and BG24 sports. Stay with us.
Now, Wood County's live local forecast with BG24 Black Swamp weather.
Good evening, everyone. I am Aisha Mitchell, and welcome to your Black Swamp weather forecast. The current temperature is in the high 30s, cloudy skies throughout the day. Sunrise was around 8:04 this morning, and gusting winds heading northwest due to the hurricane extending over areas of Ohio. And for tonight, the temperatures dropped to the mid-30s. Showers throughout the night, heavy winds still headed northwest, and sunset around 6:31. For tomorrow, the high will be in the mid-40s, rain showers throughout the day, sunrise around 8:05 a.m., and the winds die down a little bit, but still headed northwest. And for tomorrow night, the temperatures drop to the low 40s, rain showers throughout the night, moderate winds still heading northwest, and very high humidity. And the average wind speed for this time of year in the Bowling Green area is about 10 miles per hour, which we are very high above due to the current weather we've been having. And for the U.S., it's 11 miles per hour. But over on the East Coast and the Northeast areas, it's very over the average wind speeds. And as we look at our current precipitation, the areas shaded in green are receiving normal rainfall. Cleveland, Akron, Elyria, and some areas on the east side of Ohio, but in the southern parts of Ohio, they're receiving just a little bit of snowfall. And our current temperatures in the northern part of Ohio are all experiencing temperatures a little in the mid to high 30s, but right under Bowling Green in the darker areas of the blue, they're receiving temperatures that are a little under 30 degrees in Lima, Delaware, and Columbus, and also in the southern part of Ohio where they are receiving a little bit of snowfall. And as we look at our current wind speeds, the areas in yellow are receiving about 30 miles per hour or higher in Toledo, Bowling Green, and Columbus, but the areas in blue are receiving average wind speeds for this time of year. And finally, our 5-day forecast, the temperatures will be in the mid to high 40s for the next 5 days, and we receive rainfall on Wednesday and Thursday, and partly cloudy skies for the weekend. So the temperatures are definitely lower than they were last week, but there's not too much crazy weather, but high wind speeds, but not too crazy for this time of year.
Well, it seems like it's going to be a rather cold, windy, rainy Halloween. It's
Yes,
not too much fun for trick-or-treaters
no,
and those
not at
going
all.
out.
Yeah, make sure you guys stay warm out there. SpaceX has returned its way back to Earth. The unmanned capsule landed off the coast of California yesterday. SpaceX docked at the International Space Station 3 weeks ago to supply the crew with food, clothes, and station supplies. The capsule brought back frozen blood samples taken from the astronauts in space. NASA plans to study the samples to test the long-term effects that zero gravity has on the human body.
It's unFalcon believable coverage that you won't get anywhere else. This is BG24 Sports.
Welcome to BG24 Sports. I'm Kelly Hart. Over the weekend, BG football team welcoming Eastern Michigan into Adroit Perry Stadium. Fans pumped up. Late in the first quarter, Matt Schultz hands the ball off to Andre Givens, finding a hole, breaks away, and dives in for the score. BG up 14-3. Next half, EMU up in its own territory, and we have a fumble picked up by Chris Jones, who will run it back for the 23-yard touchdown, his first ever. BG goes on to win it 24-3, sixth win of the year for the Falcons and becoming bowl eligible. But Coach Clausen looking at more than that.
You know, we want to win the MAC East, and we want to play in Detroit, and that is the biggest goal. And we're excited heading into November that goal's alive, and it's the first time in a while it has been.
I'm going to brag on us for a little bit because, I mean, I don't know if there's a defensive line in the country, honestly, playing better than we are right now. Like, we're just wreaking havoc on all the O-lines that we play, and quarterbacks are having trouble, you know, sitting in the pocket. You know, they're scrambling everywhere. So you just look at us and watch us in practice. I mean, we work. We don't do anything else but work. That's our motto.
The BGSU ice hockey team hosted Ohio State this past weekend. They tied the Buckeyes on Friday 3-3, but snagged a victory on Saturday in an intense shootout game. Scoring for the Falcons were Rusty Hafner, Mark Cooper, and Brett Moeller. Tommy Burke also aided in the team, stopping 21 of 24 shots. BG will be back in action this weekend as they take on Michigan State. Over to volleyball, the Falcons battled Ohio University. Going into the game, both teams were tied for first place. BG fell to the Bobcats 0-3. Danielle Tanyan led the team with 13 kills. BGSU will finish up their home season this weekend as they host Buffalo and Akron. That's all for BG24 Sports. I'm Kelly Hart. We'll be right back.
Japan is taking cheerleading competitions to a new level. Over the weekend, a town in Japan hosted their 4th annual Senior Citizens Cheerleading Competition. This event is put on every year by the Japan Senior Cheer Association. Competitors must be at least 49 years old to enter the competition, with the oldest participant being 75. The competition had a total of 90 dancers.
Now Aisha Mitchell joins us for our last look at the Black Swamp weather forecast.
Temperatures will be in the mid to high 40s for the next 5 days, rainfall on Wednesday and Thursday, but partly cloudy skies for the rest of the weekend. So if you plan on going trick-or-treating tomorrow night, you might want to carry an umbrella and bundle up a little bit. It's a little cooler than last week, so.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, I don't care how cold it is, how rainy it is. I'm going to go out and have a good time tomorrow because it's Halloween, you know?
Exactly. You get all the free candy.
Exactly.
The candy is what's worth it.
It's the one day of the year I'm allowed to eat as much candy as I physically can. So, I mean, I'm not going to let any rain or hurricane stop me from doing that.
There you go. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
And that's all for BG24 News.
For Madeline Finning, Aisha Mitchell, and Kelly Hard, I'm Lucas Stahl. Check out our website at bg24news.org. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.